What is going on, everyone? This is xMrAlchemy, and today we're playing some free-for-all on Seatown, but I'm not going to be talking about the gameplay today. In fact, we're going to jump right into the topic. And when I started explaining this from the beginning, it might not seem like this has anything to do with me talking about how lucky I am to live the life that I have, but it leads to that eventually, so just stick with me here. So last week, I saw a status on my mom's Facebook, and apparently her administrators of her office that she works at, warned the employees that there have been some sketch guys, or the word she used was unsavory, unsavory guys hanging out around the parking lot late at night when everybody gets off work. Well, my mom was the last one to leave the building at 7 o'clock at night. Granted, 7 o'clock is not that late, but to be the last one to leave a building when it's completely dark and, to hear about random weird-looking guys hanging around the building, it's kind of scary. So I went out to Bass Pro. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's kind of like a big hunting sports type store. Got her some pepper spray and took it to her work, and I said, I told her, if anybody comes at you, spray this in their face, kick them in the nuts, scream, yell, run, do whatever you have to do to get the hell away from these guys. So, funny thing is, now, she didn't have to use it at work, but listen to this. So, she pulled into the Walmart parking lot kind of late at night. She likes going at night because there's not many people there. And she pulls in, and as soon as she pulls in, she hasn't even turned the car off, turned her lights off, whatever. Some guy starts knocking on her window asking her for money, asking her if she has any spare change, and she says, no, I don't have any spare change. The guy keeps asking, right? So she's going to crack the window a little bit just to tell, make sure he heard her right, that she does not have any money to give him. Because, quite frankly, if you give money to every homeless guy that you see, that's not a safe thing to do. Because if you give money to them, chances are you probably have more. At least that's the way that I would look at it if I was homeless. Granted, I would never try to rob anybody, but that's a different story completely. So, anyway, she rolls down her window to tell this guy to, get the hell out of here. He reaches into her window, into the car, and God forbid that guy was lucky I was not there, because I don't know what I would have done. But so my mom turns off the car real quick, because I got her the pepper spray you can put on a keychain, and takes the pepper spray, aims it at the window, and the guy runs off. Apparently this guy was homeless, right? Well, my mom had told me a story about this homeless shelter burning down here in the town that I live, or city, excuse me, and this homeless shelter burned down. So all these homeless families, homeless people have nowhere to go now, and so she kind of maybe assumed that he was one of them. And it got me to thinking. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell does this have to do with, you enjoying your life or being lucky with the life that you have? First of all, I'm not homeless. Now, as dumb as that may sound, I'm so happy I'm not homeless. But, guys, look, there are so many things going on with this country right now. The way that things have gone with this economy the past 4 years, not 4 years, 3 years or 2 years, I'm very lucky to live the life that I do. And, I haven't done anything to deserve this life that I have. I wasn't, personally, I don't believe in reincarnation, so there's nothing I did in a past life that has any impact on what I'm doing now. And granted, if you believe in reincarnation, that's completely fine, but obviously I'm not going to get in that either. That's completely different. But what I'm trying to say is, guys, I didn't do anything to deserve this treatment that I'm getting in my life. I was born into a great family. I was born into a great life with all the things that I could ever need. And, I'm not making this commentary to brag and say, oh, look at me, I have a great life. What do you have, My family isn't rich by any means. I'm not, I haven't had everything handed to me on a silver platter by any means. But what I am trying to say is just, I am very, very lucky to be in the situation that I am. And I'm very fortunate to have parents that, have good jobs that have been, providing for me. As I get a nice pen and knife there. And my dad works for a company called Sal's Machinery. And a couple, maybe 1 or 2 years before this whole recession happened back in, 2009, he got promoted to a desk job, and he was pretty high up, not pretty high up, but, a good level up in the company, and so he didn't, a lot of the guys working, carrying a toolbox got cut, but since he had gotten promoted from that, carrying a toolbox to sitting behind a desk, he didn't get cut. Now, my mom is a nurse. She's a registered nurse, went to school for it and everything. And, there will always be a need for healthcare, whether it's nurses, doctors, whatever, there will always be a need for that. So those type of people have good job security. When this happened, my mom had been working at St. John's for, 9 or 10 years, and, she's not going to get cut from that. My parents have always had good job security. They still have good job security. And, my parents throughout my whole life have always, if they were ever going through a financial, hardship or anything, I never knew about it. I was shocked to find out some of the things that my parents went through when I was a kid that I learned from, not them, some of my relatives told me, because they thought it was time that I should know. And I look back at all this and I think, how awesome were my parents to be going through these troubles and through these hardships and not have much money and not tell me about it, yet it's, to me, as a kid, it seemed like everything was going okay. And I realize now they did that to protect me. They did that so that I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, what was going on in their lives. I wouldn't have to worry about what was going to happen if we didn't have enough money to, you know, pay the rent in our apartment that we were living at the time, or whatever, you know. And when it came around to Christmas or my birthday or whatever, my parents always worked extra hard and worked overtime, put in whatever hours they could, so that I would have what I wanted for Christmas. And that means a lot to me, you know. It's not every day that you hear some kid say that he always got everything he wanted for Christmas. Granted, you know, like I said, I'm not that spoiled, and guys, I'm not making this commentary to boast and brag about how great my life is. There are things that could be better, but, you know, in order to have a good life, in order to have a good attitude about things, I think you need to focus on the positives about what you have. There's a song out there, I forget what it's called. I didn't think about the name of the song before I started this commentary, but there's a song out there that says we need to focus on the things we do have and not the things we don't, or something like that. It's a rap song by somebody, but anyway, that's true. I mean, look, guys, if you focus too much on what you don't have, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be satisfied with your life. I have been very, very fortunate to have been surrounded with people that, you know, care for me, and people that have good jobs, and, you know, I could have just as easily been born into a life in a third world country and not have anything. You know, we have all these, you know, we have smartphones now, laptops, you know, computers, TVs, high-def TVs, internet, whatever. This is all second nature to us now, but guys, people in third world countries, people in these poor countries or very poor families here in America don't have, you know, the resources to be able to afford these things. They don't know what it's like to have these types of things. I live in a great city. I've grown up in Springfield, Missouri, ever since I was in second grade, and, you know, granted, I wasn't born here, but I was pretty much born and raised in Springfield. And, you know, I'm surrounded by great friends. I mean, I have two of the best roommates I could ever ask for. I have a roof over my head. I have money to buy food and, you know, drinks and stuff like that. So, guys, I like my life, and I really hope that you guys can focus on the positives in your life, regardless of what's going on, and just see that you have a lot more there than what may be in sight. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you later.